Hello everyone, this is my channel Learn Web Technologies. Today we will talk about CSS opacity and transparency. So opacity properties specify the opacity transparency of an element. So firstly we will talk about transparent image. How we will do that? The opacity property can take a value from 0.0 to 1.0. 0.0 means the lower values, like lowest transparent, and the more you will do like 0.2, 0.5, then like little bit more transparent. 1 is the higher transparent, like it's a default position also. So let's see with the help of example. I'm just removing this p tag and this all CSS what we mentioned in my last video. So it's the same example. Now it will come up blank. If we will refresh this, it's coming blank. So I'm adding here image tag. In image, I'm just adding image property. Just save and then refresh. This is the image. Okay. Now this is the actual property, actual size. So now what we want opacity. This is the opacity property. Okay, so you can write it like this: 0 and 1. 1 is the highest, it is default by default. If I'm using directly image, so that means it's taking opacity 1. If you will do 0 then and do a refresh, nothing will show. If you will do a 0.2, 0.2, then little bit showing. Okay, if you will do 0.5, then it's coming a little bit darker. If you are using 8, and it's also a dark one. When you are using 1, it's a default property, it's showing original image. Okay, but when you are using opacity directly here, opacity does not, this property does not support in IE 8 or below 8. So for now, for supporting in all browsers, you can do it like this. You can use a filter property and use alpha, and here you are just mentioning opacity is equals to 10. Here here we are writing x is from 0 to 100. 0 means lower probability, just like here I'm mentioning 0. So here also mentioning a 0. If you want mentioning I want to 0.5, so here I want to mention 50. Okay, so that's property will be same for everywhere, for all the browsers. If you want to support in every browser's opacity property, then you have to write both. Okay, now you will say, okay, now what we want when it's when you hover, then its original image is showing. The opacity property is often used together with hover selected to change the opacity and mouse over. Now you want to change the on mouse over element. For that, but you can write image over opacity is 1, and same for this one. Just save and then refresh. When you go into this, then and go back, then it's a hover effect. Basically, it's a hover effect. Okay, when users hovers one of the images, in this we want the image to not transparent when the user mouses over it. Okay, when the mouse pointer moves away from the image will be transparent. Okay, now we want the reversed. Like firstly, when we are loading the page, then we want original size, and when we are hovering this, then we want some transparency. For that, what you can do, you just write it like this. You don't need to write an image tag. Okay, you just write it here 0.5, and here you can write 50 on hover element. Now you just save, and when you go hover on the image, then it's transparent. Okay, transparent property can use anywhere on hover element on div images or any other tag you want. So now I would like to use another property in div tag. I want to use in div tag. I'm using p tag div1 and div2, div3, div2 and div3. Just save. And now what I'm just removing in div tag. I'm just adding padding 50px, and here I'm adding this property. Okay, just save and adding some width so it will come in a single line, 20% and float left. Okay, here you can mention some background also, so property will be shown green color. You can add some margin so you will know the difference between both of them. You can some yeah, if you want all this is single line, then you can do it. You can remove some width, or 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 you can use star property and use border size box size border box sizing border box, so it will come in a single line. Okay, now you can use even 25 also. Okay, so suppose this is a class div1 and I'm using another class here div2, and here is div3. So div2 and div3, and we are applying different opacity for different div. Div1 is this one. I'm just copying this div2, div3, for div2 and div3. Firstly, I'm just mentioning 1 here, and here 1. Here is 5 is good, and now I want full here 1, and here is 100. Just save. Now refresh. Now you can see the difference between the opacities. Like in opacity, when you are using opacity property, then it's the inner child element is also taking that opacity. Like in div also, it's taking 0.1. Basically, this p is the child of this div. So this child is also taking the this div opacity property. So that's the reason we are not visible to the user. The content is not visible to the user. Here it's something, it's a like light grayish. Opacity is less, that's why it's showing little bit. Here is dark one, so that's why its content is visible to the user. For that, for removing that type of things, what we can do, we can use RGBA for transparency. If you do not want to apply opacity to the child element, then you use the RGBA color values. Okay, RGB color values specified with RGBA red, green, blue. The alpha property is a number between 0 to 1, same like whatever we discussed here. Okay, for that, instead of this, you can, instead of opacity, you can use RGBA background, RGBA. Here you just mention a green color code 76175, comma 80. This is the basically this is the green color for RGBA. This 0.5 is 0.1 is the opacity. Okay, this you can apply. Here you can mention 5 and here you can mention 1. Just save and then refresh. Now you can see here div is taking a opacity property, but content is visible to the users. This content is also visible to the users. That's why we are using the RGB color. Okay, so this is when this is basically depend on the situations what you want actually. Okay, so if you want different, if you want the opacity is applied to the all the child element also, then you can use opacity. Otherwise, you can use RGB color. I'm using both the properties. When I want a transparent text, then I'm using this one. When I want a opacity only, like whatever we are just like when we're using image tags, then I'm using this property only. Okay, I will show you another example also. Suppose we have I'm just removing all this, only a one content, and removing the image tag and this also. For div one, I'm just adding a background property with image. Here I'm using image.jpg. Just save and then refresh. No image is showing. Okay, you can check what is the reason behind that, why it's not showing. It's not. So we are doing the wrong path. That is the reason it's not showing to the users. Now, if you are using this background image and you can use some padding 20 px, then save, then refresh. Now if you want to visible this text to the user, now you are using an image, and if you did not mention this width and you just mention our width is 100%. See, okay. Now you want to visible this to the user. For that, what you can do in p tag you can apply background RGBA 255, 255, 255, 0.5. Just save and then refresh. 255, 25, is for the white color, and this is the white color transparency. So for look and feel, you just apply some CSS for this. You can add some padding here and text align center and font size is bigger 50 px. Whatever you want, just copy this element. It's looking good basically. Copy this element and paste here. You can add color also, red, whatever you like you can do it like this. This is basically used when you see a lot of websites, we are showing a banner, and on banner you are showing some content. So that type of approach we are using on that things. So that's all for the opacity. Thank you guys for listening. Have a good day.